I cloned a $20,000 exotic cat in my DNA laboratory. Here's how it happened. I was in my lab cloning my brother's wife when I suddenly thought I needed to clone something cooler, something absolutely insane. So I left the lab and headed straight to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, California, known as the most expensive street in America. When I arrived, I searched everywhere, right, left, every designer store, every single street. I spent 2 hours walking up and down looking for someone or something worth cloning. Then, out of the corner of my eye across the street, I saw it. A miniature cheetah-looking cat with a flawless golden coat. After a closer look, I realized it was a Bengal cat, one of the most expensive exotic cats I'd ever seen. I ran across the street. I watched from outside thinking of a plan. How was I going to get the cat's DNA without getting caught? That's when I called up my friend Ashley. I told her I need you here right now. She said she only lives 5 minutes away. I waited. She finally showed up and I told her the plan. She was gonna distract the owner while I swabbed the cat's DNA. She walked up and started talking to him, flirting, smiling, laughing. He was hooked. I snuck up right behind them, leaned down, and swabbed the DNA directly from the cat's mouth. I ran as fast as I could, sealed the DNA swab in a chemical grade tube, and locked it in my protective case, and vanished. I drove straight back to my laboratory. That's when the cloning process began. First, I treated the swab with red lysis solution to break down the saliva protein. Then, I spun it in a centrifuge to isolate the DNA. Under the microscope, I examined the strands, pure, unbroken, and alive. I transferred the sample into the DNA thermal chamber to replicate the genetic code. I placed the mixture on a magnetic stir to keep the reaction steady. Hours later, cells started forming. The clone was alive. Now, this is him at 9 weeks old, and soon I will have a $20,000 exotic cat for myself.